Hello, welcome to the Preacher Dad Podcast. And yes, I am the Preacher Dad. And you can find out more about me at preacherdad.com. That's preacherdad, all one word, .com. You can find a lot of articles about parenting and politics and maybe even a few about preparation, being prepared, being prudent. And you might find some other P's there because I am a preacher and so I like alliteration, okay? Come on, give me a break. Well, wherever you are, whoever you are, if you're on the way home like me, maybe you've had a challenging day and you're headed back home to your true ministry. If you're a dad or a mom, your true ministry is at home. Because your children are the most likely way that you will make a difference in the future. Most of us are not going to be Billy Graham or some amazing leader, some influential figure, C.S. Lewis, throwing names out there. But most of us are not going to be that person. However, we can be a legend in our own family. The legends that are spoken of by grandchildren and great-grandchildren for years to come with admiration and appreciation for the investment made in their own personal life. I know I can speak of my own great-grandfather Lettingham and my grandfather Horner, and I can speak about the difference that they made for my personal life. I can speak about my grandfather Hinton, who I never knew. He died before I was born, but his legacy is incredible and has passed on to me, and I hope to pass that legacy on to my children. So really, just remember that the time that you spend at home and the things that you do with your family make the biggest difference for the future. That's the best opportunity you have to make a difference for future generations because you have the most influence there upon the most amount of people. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have some blossoming, thriving ministry somewhere that you should just ignore your family because, well, I have more opportunity to influence more people out there, preaching at the church. No. It's to help you remember the priorities that should be in your life. And your family needs to be your first priority. So don't forget about that. With that in mind, we need to remember that we are in a cultural war. This is not the time to sit on the sidelines and focus on your golf swing or try to, just have all of this time invested in your hobbies and your personal interests and in entertainment. And look, I love the MCU. I love Star Wars. I love fun things. I'm a fun person and I like having fun. But we also need to remember the stakes. We need to remember what the stakes are. And we are in a cultural war for the future of our country and the future of our children. We are fighting totalitarianism. We are fighting communism, very real life communist fight. And I was listening to Kelly Shackelford earlier today, and he was talking about all of the religious liberty cases that he and his organization, he has the largest legal organization in the country, all the cases that he and his teammates there are litigating right now. He said that 2 years ago they had about 48 cases during the entire year. He said last year they had a little over 300. And they focus mainly on religious liberty issues. He said this year they have over 700 different religious liberty cases that they are currently in litigation over. That is a huge increase. And he also pointed out that anytime totalitarianism takes over or there's a communist revolution of some sort, The state attacks very often. Their first target is religion. Their first target is religious liberty, because the state, a statist or communist cannot abide any group that has a greater allegiance to something greater than the state. The state must be the God, and so they must remove the worship of all other gods. And that is what is happening right now. It is unbelievable, and I'll save you the details because you can find them. If I like to listen to Wall Builders live, so you go and listen to the presentation Kelly Shackelford made. But folks, if you don't realize we're in a cultural war, you need to get your head out of the sand. And I am encouraging you today to get in the fight, to not stand on the sidelines, to do something. And if you're like I was a few months ago, what do I do? What can I do? How can I make a difference? Then you need to keep listening to the Preacher Dad podcast, because we are going to be talking about how we can make a change, what we are able to do as regular old people in the United States, how we can make a legitimate, concrete difference in fighting for the future of our country and maintaining not only liberty, but religious freedom, and maintaining the right to worship God as we choose, according to our conscience. That is something that the Pilgrims fought for many, many years ago, and they founded this nation in many ways as a place where people can be free to worship God. And that is being threatened. And if you are worth your salt as a parent or as a person in the United States, you will get in the fight. You need to be in the fight. So stay tuned. We're going to talk more about it. And if not here, there'll be places on the blog at preacherdad.com. You can go and read some of the articles and things that we're posting there. All right, guys, gals, folks, head on home and sit down and invest in your family. Whether it's your wife or your husband, maybe it's your son or daughter, maybe it's your mother or your father, your brother or your sister. Somebody at home needs you, and you need to be prepared to speak into their life and pour into them. And in order for that to happen, you need to be full of Jesus. You have to be full of Jesus. So don't forget to go get yourself filled up with Jesus. All right, that's all I have for you today. I am the Preacher Dad, signing off for tonight. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.